Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Hello guys, if you guys are new, hello, my name is Jackie, aka Minjax, and if you're a returning subscriber, welcome. As you can tell by the title, I'm gonna be answering you guys' questions that you guys have for me, especially about, my accident. If you are new and you're like, what the hell is going on? Yeah, I don't have hands, as you can tell. If you guys want the story time, I'll have the link up here, I guess, the eye little thing, and you guys can watch that and come back to this video after you're watching it, so it'll make sense. You guys did ask some good questions, and I never thought of these questions, but you guys are very curious, so I will be answering some of these questions. And thank you guys so much for asking respectful question towards me, because a lot of people don't do that, so I'm very happy that you guys did that in a manner way and very respectful without invading my privacy too much, so thank you guys. Before I start answering questions, I do want to state this again. I just want to make sure you guys truly understand. I don't blame nobody for my accident. I don't blame my parents. I don't blame my mom, my dad, nobody. Please don't blame nobody. Please, again, I ask, don't blame nobody. If I don't blame nobody, you shouldn't blame anybody. Well, except for the hospital. Okay, the first question is, how did my parents deal with the bullying or the people around us talking about me and them? My parents told me is that they didn't really pay attention to them. They didn't pay attention to talks, the snickers, all of the comments that they made either about me or my parents, specifically about them. They said they didn't really pay attention to them. All their concern and worry was about me, so their priority was me and not the people talking about us. In my story time about how I lost my arms, I talked about how my mom's reaction was when she found out, because she was there with me. Now, a lot of people did ask, what was my dad's reaction since he wasn't there with us? He was in Guate, he was here in the United States. So yes, like I stated, my dad was here in the United States. He already came before my accident happened because he was working here to send us money back home. What my dad did tell me is that the reason why he came to the United States to work is to work and earn money to save up to finish or rebuild our house so it can be a lot better than how our house was. So that's why he was already here. And when he got the call, told him that my accident happened, the way my dad, he looked at me and he was like, you already know my reaction. So, oh, this is gonna be a little trigger warning. My dad, he basically started drinking. He called off well, he didn't even call off, he just didn't get to work after he found out about my accident. He didn't work for 3 days. All he did was drink. And I know a lot of people are gonna talk a lot about my dad and say he should have done this, like, oh my god, that's such a bad thing to do. And the thing is, I'm not trying to excuse what my dad did, and he knows how I feel about him and drinking. But in that moment, what can my dad do? He wasn't with us. He was here in the United States. He was alone. Like, he was alone. And all my dad can do to wash away the pain was to drink. I obviously still don't agree with what he did, but that's how my dad was, and that's how he reacted. And he said that he was a mess. So yeah, my dad was not good those 3 days specifically. It was really, really hard on him because when he couldn't even see me, he couldn't, like I said, all of the calls he got was from a call. Like, someone told him, like the doctor talked to him, the people talked to him, but he couldn't see me like that. So I can't imagine how my dad truly felt. He didn't really give much say, because you know how Latino dads are, they don't really like to open up truly. But that's what my dad told me, so I just can't imagine how hard it is for my dad specifically. Please don't be too hard on my dad. I understand there are certain things could have been done differently, but you really don't know what to do in a moment when things happen so fast, and especially if you're not there for your daughter. So please just keep that in mind. The next question about my parents is, what are the challenges they didn't anticipate? So obviously the main challenge was having a daughter with no arms. So that was a really challenge for them. I did ask them, like, what were the challenges that they faced because I didn't have arms. Just looking for people to help us. and luckily we did. So I will give a shout out to Cool Spring Elementary School, which is my sister's, my older sister's elementary school. My mom went there and basically asked for help because she wanted to enroll me, but like she didn't know how to, if I was allowed. I don't know if that's the correct word to say, but she did talk to the school and ask, is there any way I can find help for my daughter? She doesn't have arms. And she basically told them the story. Oh my gosh, I'm so thankful for that school because they did actually help my mom a lot, and that's how I end up finding my other school that like helped me. Then I end up going to Catherine T. Reed, and you know, all my friends that know me from Catherine T. Reed, yeah. Main challenge was to see if we can find any help, and they were just worried that they couldn't find any, but they did, luckily. Shout out to Cool Spring again. And any other challenges, obviously they had to face like, how was I gonna supposed to do things, but again, I did get help, so they helped me and my parents along the way. Also, they didn't tell me this, but I feel like another challenge they faced was how to deal with me when I became a teenager, because anyone knows once you become a teenager, you know, your hormones are everywhere. You start to grow up, you start to see things differently, and I feel like they anticipated, but they didn't really anticipate it. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, they knew something would happen, like I would feel really bad about myself, but they didn't know to what extent, because I didn't necessarily tell them what I've been going through. So now that I'm an adult, I did end up like slowly opening up to my parents, specifically my mom. And my mom was like, I didn't know you like felt like this, like truly. Like, I have talks with my mom about what I've been dealing with and how hard it was to accept my disability and stuff. And she just told me like, I didn't know this. So I feel like another thing they didn't anticipate was, I guess, how I would feel when I grew up, when I became an adult. I think that's all I can say for now, because I didn't really say anything else other than that. Next question is, how did my parents deal with the guilt? My parents said is the guilt will never go away. They still feel guilty till this day. It's very, very hard for them, especially when they see me, even today. Like, they see their other kids, like my sister, my brother, my little sister, like going about their life, working, getting out the house, doing things by themselves, and then they look at me, you know, like that's the way I feel. And my mom talked about it, like seeing me struggle, like not doing the things I want to do because of my disability. And it is hard for them, and they take that guilt very seriously. And I do remind my parents that it's not their fault. Please don't feel guilty. But that guilt will always be there. And the way my mom said this, like, it really, really hurted me a lot. She said, that guilt will never go away, even when I die. She will take that guilt to the grave, and oh, it's gonna make me cry. She said that she'll, I guess, take the punishment, like whatever happens to her, like after her death, I guess, she'll gladly take the punishment because she didn't take care of me. And I told my mom, like, you're not gonna get punished, you know, you're fine, like, don't feel guilty, you know, just don't feel guilty. Say this, that's my mom's belief. I won't get into beliefs and all that stuff, but that was what my mom said, and that was her belief. And I don't believe the way she believed, but I do remind her that, like, please don't take this, I just don't want her to, when, it's so hard, I can't find the words correctly, but I just don't want my mom to feel guilty. Even, I don't like saying this, but whenever she passes away, I still don't want her to feel guilty. But it's hard to change my mom's mind with the words, but what I can do is constantly remind her that it isn't her fault. And for my dad, he said that he would always feel guilty. It basically, both of my parents feel guilty, and it's very hard for us even till this day, but we just go day by day. The next question is, did we move to USA because of me? Well, yeah. I did ask my parents this. I said, am I the reason why we came to the United States? And my mom was like, yeah. She said, if your accident didn't happen, we would still be in Guatemala. So if it wasn't for my accident, I probably would still be in Guatemala. Who knows what? But my mom always said, you probably have like a family already. And I'm like,
The next question is, how long did it take me to accept it? I'm not gonna lie. I haven't like fully accepted it. I mean, I accepted the fact that I don't have arms and stuff, but it's still hard for me to, I don't know how to explain it, but it's just hard for me to come a realization that, yeah, this is my life. This is what happened to me, and now I'm gonna be like this till the day I die. And it's really hard for me to accept that what I went through, my story, I actually lost my arms like that. Because, like, stories like that sound so unreal. And I understand a lot of people don't believe my story, and I get it because it sounds genuinely unreal. But the fact that it happened to me, it happened to me. So I'm still learning. Well, not learning. I'm still trying to process everything. I mean, it's gonna take me a long time, especially since my story is kind of like recent that I found out every detail. And I know, again, a lot of people might recommend me therapy, and I have had therapy, but I think of, I'm just too self aware, and the therapies I've been, it just didn't really help me. And I don't know if therapy is for me because I'm too self aware, but I don't know. But yeah, I'm still trying to accept the way I am. It's hard, but yeah. Another question is from my parents is, how did other people's comments affect my parents' mental health? Because we got comments. Well, the way my mom said and my dad, they said it didn't affect them as much, but I know they're lying. Like, they're lying. I guess they didn't want to tell me, but the way I see it, it affected a lot, especially my mom, because she still struggles to this day and take that guilt very seriously, just like my dad. Like, there's so many things that happened growing up that affected them, which affected not only me but my siblings. And even to this day, I'm not going to go in much detail yet, because it's a very sensitive topic, but I think it affected them a lot because of how people put the blame on them, specifically my mom. At the end, it's just really hard, and I just hope one day all of us can come into peace. Maybe not like 100%, but at least like 60%. But it affected their mental health a lot. And I know a lot of people might ask, what about me? How did it affect my mental health? Well, I could make a story by itself. I think I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna make another video talking about how I dealt with, especially growing up, because I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys are curious of how it was growing up without arms, and like you want to know, like, how did people treat me, how did school treat me, how did like kids treat me, and all of that. I'll make a full story, another video explaining that, because it's a lot. But just know it affected my mental health a lot. To this day, I'm still suffering a lot from mental health. I have severe depression, I have severe anxiety and panic attacks. Girl, I have everything wrong with me. But I'm pushing through. Okay, a person asked, after the accident, were the builders, building company, or anyone else involved the construction really, who installed the rebar so close to the live wires held responsible? I'm not sure how strict things are, or even if they work in Guatemala, considering the negligence you faced from the hospital. But I know if something like this happened in the US, lawsuits would be fine. So, who installed all of that shit? I don't know. um, I could ask my parents, but I don't know. I just don't. I don't. The thing is, I don't want to know who installed all that, and I just don't want to know who installed all that. And was there any consequence? No. I know a lot of people told me and my parents should have sue that person, sue the hospital for negligence, okay, I can't pronounce certain words. I apologize. And we don't have money either way, because you need money as well to lawyer up. And we didn't even have that, like, let alone paying for my surgery, let alone a lawsuit. And I understand the US is different than Guatemala. It's completely different. Like I said, they don't care if you don't have money. If you don't have money, you're not gonna get the help you need. That's just how it is. Especially back then. Ooh, they don't care. So no. To answer the question, were the person who built it, was there any like held responsible? No, nobody was held responsible. Um, what happened, and do I wish we would have sued or stuff? Nah. I mean, nah, I don't really care, to be honest. Do my parents wish they would have sued? I don't know. But it is what it is, and obviously things should have been better. No, I take that back. My mom, I did remember my mom had told me that, like, if they built it correctly, like, I think if it was from my mom perspective, yes, I think she would have loved to sue and stuff. Now that I remember certain things that my mom told me, but for me, I don't care to know who installed it. I don't care to like sue them, because at the end of the day, it's not gonna bring my arms back. And yeah. Another question is, how did you develop the dexterity? I can't pronounce that word, of your feet. So a lot of people ask, like, oh my gosh, because a lot of you guys see how I do things with my feet and my toes. How did I like develop? It came naturally, I guess, after coming to America and going to the schools and the hospital that taught me in a way, but specifically the school. It just came naturally, and honestly, I don't even remember how I learned so fast, because my mom did tell me I learned pretty fast, but it just came naturally, because once you lose something, something else will replace it. So since I lost my arms and my fingers, my toes and my feet became the replacement. Another question is, was there any chance of you having prosthetic arms? Like, was that even in a discussion? So, if you guys don't know, I had prosthetic arms. I had fake arms, you guys want to call it, but the term is prosthetic arms. Yes, so I did have it when I was young, twice. And the thing is, I don't like it. I know a lot of people suggest you should get prosthetics and so on. But the thing is that you guys don't understand. I feel like you guys are influenced, or you just guys are so used to seeing what's in the movies or show, like Winter Soldier, Cyborg, and stuff. But those are not real. Those are fake. Those things do not exist in real life. And I understand where you guys are coming from, thinking that prosthetics is gonna help me, it's gonna make things easier for me. But when I had them, it made my life harder. It was heavy. I did not like it on me. Last time I had it, my elementary school, Catherine T. Reed, gave me the opportunity to try it again for the second time, and I wanted to give it a chance. But when I had it, I didn't like it. I did not like it. I don't like the way it feels. It was heavy, and I know people are gonna ask, like, how did the function work? So one of the arms looked like a mannequin arm. Like, you see those mannequins in store, they look like that arm. The other arm looked like a crab arm. Yeah, crab arm. So a lot of people would assume the mannequin arm would help me, might replicate like another arm, a bit helpful, you know? No, the mannequin arm was just for accessory. That hand didn't do shit. The crab arm is the one that helped me, that I had to use, that I used more. So when I was in the hospital, I stayed there for a week. Um, they gave, if I remember, I think it was like an hour or two. I had to practice using the prosthetics to pick up a fork or a spoon and feed myself. An hour and two just to pick up a fork and spoon. Meanwhile, I can use my feet in seconds. So imagine just doing that alone, picking a fork. I can't imagine how I'm gonna supposed to learn how to do makeup, how to play my PC, how to do everything I do. So that's when I came to realization when I was young that yeah, this is not gonna help me in the long run. I just knew automatically. I was like, nah, I'm not using it. I reached out to a professional person who works with disability amputees, people with arms amputated, or if you were born like that. And I reached out to her and asked her, how can I? Because I wanted to give a last chance of process, maybe like third charm is a charm, you know. And I reached out to her and asked her, what is the process of getting prosthetic arms, and do you think it's possible that I can get them? And what she said was, I will tell you up front, um, you're not gonna like them. Basically, she said, you're not gonna like them and you're not gonna use them. Because she worked with people like me who lost this much limbs or was born without limbs, like without arms, and majority of them don't like prosthetics. They prefer using their feet, just like me. So I understand people's suggestion, and I understand people want to see me using prosthetics, and might be, you guys might think it's helpful, but it's not. It's really not. Technology is not advanced at all, especially for me, because I lost a lot of limbs. And I know people are gonna recommend like the robot, like where you like put something inside the arm and bones, something like that. Someone suggested that. I barely have bones. I don't have bones here. Half of my bones are gone. So prosthetics are useless. When I say prosthetics are useless. I hope you guys can stop recommending me prosthetics. I'm okay using my feet. When I say my feet or my hands, my feet or my hands. So yeah. Oh, majority of prosthetics. Alright, answer. Do you get leg cramps or sore? No, I don't get any leg cramps. It's just like hands. Whenever you guys get tired of using your hands, don't your hands cramp up? Just like me. If I use it too much or use too much force, yeah, it's gonna hurt. Or when I, oh, that's a lie. Okay. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I'm yapping. Okay. When I first got my PC, I did get cramps because I was not used to playing on the PC and stuff. But I got used to it. The thing is, my body adjusts. If I'm trying something new, in the beginning, yes, my body, my legs are gonna cramp up a little. Mostly my legs, not my body, is gonna cramp up a little. But when I continue to do it over and over, my body's gonna get used to it. So yeah. Do you still visit the place where your accident happened? No, I'm in USA. So yeah, if you guys understand my situation, you kind of understand why I don't visit back home. I would love to, but I can't. I mean, if I could, I probably won't be here. This is the last question I'm going to be answering because I feel like I answered a lot. Okay, maybe you've already answered this, but do strangers in public give you weird looks when you're doing stuff with their feet? I can just imagine the rude comments about it being unsanitary. Thank you for showing us your life. It's important for able people to see that disabled lives are still worth living and we're not tragic or helpless. I love you. Thank you for this question. Do strangers? Yes. When I was young, yes, people would stare at me because I would wear tank tops. So I would basically show off my leftovers. And yes, I got a lot of looks. And as a little girl, I didn't really understood anything as much. All I cared about was playing with dolls. Okay, so I didn't really pay attention much. I did observe a lot of people, like looking back, there's moments where people had made comments, but I just didn't pay attention to it because I was just a little kid. You know, little kids are oblivious, okay? So that was basically me. Like it was there. Like I peeped it, but I just didn't like react to it. I was just like, nah, I don't care. But as I got older, things changed. So if you guys don't know already, I don't get stares as much anymore, only because I wear sweaters. So ever since I was a freshman in high school, I started wearing sweaters. Since then, I don't leave the house without a sweater. Like you will never catch me. Like right now, it's currently 88 degrees. Literally last week I went to the pool in a sweater. It's not a sweater. It's something, but it's to cover myself up. I dealt with a lot of things, and I just didn't want people to see me anymore with my disability. So I know a lot of people are gonna feel really bad, and I already see the comments telling me you should be strong, ignore them, like you're so beautiful, like just don't listen to them, let them look at you, let them stare at you. But the thing is, after everything I've been through, it's so hard to ignore it. Um, it's just really hard, and I will say this, I am ashamed and insecure of myself, and I hate that I am. But in public, it's just different. I know a lot of people are like, but you put yourself online. How's that any different? Like, you're showing us this and this. Why won't you do that in public? That's the difference. Online, I can just shut my phone, shut off the camera, delete everything, and you'll never see me again. In person, I've dealt with people harassing me, and it just it's scarier, especially as a woman. You guys already know, women today, we are facing a lot of things as a society. And imagine me with no hands. I am easy. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I'm an easy target. People can get to me easily. It's gonna be really hard for me to defend myself. It's really hard. So yes, I go outside with a sweater, so people can't tell. There are times where people can tell I don't have arms because they stare at me or they're looking at the sleeves like, hmm. So there are times, and when people notice, all they do is stare or they just talk. I had people talk in front of my face and my parents about my disability. What do? I just let them. What can I do? My best to avoid people. That's why I'm 90% of the time I'm in the house. If I'm outside, I get very, very anxious. Like I have social anxiety, and it's just really, really bad. Yeah, it's just really hard for me. I'm trying my best to put myself outside more, but it's so scary. Bro, the world scary. United States, sanitary comment. Yes, a lot of people, I feel like some people do assume that I eat with my feet in public. And no, I don't eat with my feet in public. I have my siblings, my parents, cousins, like I said, my past relationships, they feed me. They already know my situation. So, yeah, I'm just trying to go day by day. If you see me in public or anyone who's disabled, please do not stare at them. I know it's hard because you can just look at them, but don't stare at them. Talking about them either does not help. We notice. We notice. I notice a lot of things. When I feel someone talking or stare at me, the minute I look, I can easily spot them. I don't know how, but I have this like third eye, and I can just find people immediately who's staring at me. And then they look away like, oh shit, I got caught. So please, to anyone who's never seen disabled people in your life or in public, please, if you ever come across them, don't stare at them. That's a really impolite thing to do. I was always taught never stare at someone no matter what. Please don't do that. It makes us feel uncomfortable. And for me personally, makes me feel unsafe. I don't know how long the questions were. I'm so sorry if the video was long. Again, shout out to anyone who's still watching. If you guys have any more questions I didn't answer, comment down below. I'll make a part 2 if there's good enough questions to ask that I didn't answer. Also, thank you guys so much for asking these questions. Also, make sure you follow me. Oh my god, I feel like those YouTubers. Make sure you guys follow me on Instagram, TikTok. That's where I'm active the most as well. And I love you guys. Stay safe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!